What's up, people? Welcome to the Wingin Podcast, episode 30. It's your boy Jay and Andre. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. How's everybody else out? Well, not like they can answer me. That was a thing to do.
No, it wasn't. The chat's open. Chat's open. So yeah,
Yeah.
hit us up in the chat. So, uh, there's a lot of stuff that happened this week in the world of ridiculousness that is gaming and these pandemic streets, as it were. um, and let's go and start this off with the port situation. And my question is, are we overreacting to the port situation? Now, once again, I'm of the idea if you want it, get it at this point. I mean, it's your money. I have no business telling you how to spend your money. So if you want it, if you see value in it, get it. That's how I am about DLC. DLC is a part of gaming now. Ports are a part of gaming now. Because everybody complaining about the port situation has bought at least two ports. At least two.
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
So we are
Maybe more
all,
than that, honestly.
yeah, because so we're all part of the problem. Because I'll tell you right now, I will be 100% honest with everybody. If Nintendo turns around and say we're gonna drop Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on the Switch, I'm buying it. If they turn around and say we're gonna drop Metroid Prime Trilogy HD Definitive Edition, I'm buying it. As soon as they go on pre-purchase, I'm pre-purchasing it. I ain't gonna tell everybody. I'm just gonna do it.
They'd be like, "Look, I'm gonna just wait for it to load up and play it. That's all."
Yeah. But this is me being honest because those are two of my favorite franchises. Hell, when they dropped the Master Chief Collection, bought it, even when it wasn't even working, bought it and played it. I mean, I'm just being honest. My favorite franchises, I will buy them. Sue me. I will.
I think, I think that's with everybody though. To be honest, that's
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm like I am now of the mindset that look, if you see value in it, if you as much as I made fun of Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja for what they did with Dead or Alive, if you saw value in getting that $93 DLC, hey man, your money, you do it. I know I ain't gonna do that, but it's your money, you do it. But like I
The
said,
problem is
but I
most of that was the problem with that was most of that was costumes. If it was like actual game content, it
mhm.
wouldn't bug me so much. It's just costume changes. I'm like, I can't justify that one for Koei
I
Tecmo
can't.
Dead or
I,
Alive. I just can't.
I can't justify it, but for the purposes of my example, if you find value in that, a by all means you do you. So my thing is, I think at this point we are overreacting because, like I said, I've seen so many people complaining about this to the point where I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, but you got if something came out that you liked, if all right, perfect example, if Sony turns around and say, okay, we're going to do the Jack and Daxter collection in HD and 3 is coming out in November. You know how many people gonna buy that?
A lot of people actually. Well, actually, I'd hope a lot of people would because of how popular it was.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to remember, some of these like PS2s ain't working no more. So you know what I'm saying. So like everybody's system ain't all working. So
A lot of people don't even have them anymore, even if they were.
even if they were, yeah. So I mean, if somebody wants to, if somebody finds the value in it, that's on them. I personally do think people are just to this point, it's getting silly. I will say this: I do agree with some of the complaints of it because, especially in Nintendo's case, and this goes back to what I was saying last week about the radio silence thing. Like you can't be quiet, man. You got to say something. You got to talk to your fan base at least. I mean, and before anybody says anything, when I say silence, I mean just dropping the trailer and not saying anything. That's what I mean. I'm not meaning like because uh I don't want it to sound like, oh well, what were they supposed to say? I'm like, they can say anything they want. Just say something. I'm like, don't just do that. Don't just like do that and say nothing and continuously be quiet. I Another thing that I would put out is to the people that are saying the pandemic isn't holding things back. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. I'm just thinking about my job personally. We've had to make, concessions and adjustments on how and it took a while before we got things kind of, you know, in a functioning manner. So,
Mm-hmm.
and this isn't one of those situations where this pandemic is only happening in America. No, it's happening globally. So everybody's feeling it. So I'll give any company like, look, man, I completely understand if you got to delay something
Yeah.
because people ain't working in their office space. They're working at home. And if you get a laptop from your job, you're not gonna have the stuff that you have in your office. Trust me, because they're not getting the top of the line stuff. Nah, they getting you just what you need.
Yeah, but you gotta think of it this way: like they don't have all the same equipment that they had. They're not there with each other to be able to share ideas as quickly. So, like over the internet, yeah, we can talk back and forth and do like Skype and Zoom and all sorts of other things, but that's still not necessarily going to be as fast or the same level of work to get done because everybody's not there to do it together. Like it'd be easier for somebody like developing a game, like, okay, you need this for the coding process. Here you go. I shoot it right over to you rather than over a long distance over the internet and stuff like that takes a lot more time, especially if they're using again borrowed equipment that they're probably going to have to return that isn't up to par with what they have in their offices. It's
That's
going
hella
to take
encrypted.
a minute.
That's hella encrypted, which makes it take even longer. Yeah.
And on top of that, knowing Nintendo's teams, they gotta compress all that stuff too. So that's adding to the time.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I completely understand, and I, I'm trying to see both sides of the argument. I really am, but I'm just got to the point now. Just like, dude, if you see value in it, get it. If you don't, don't. I mean, either way, either way, people forget that these companies are businesses. They're gonna have to do what they can to make money. And in
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo's case, you have the Switch, which just so I think it was what it is now, 61.5 mil. The Wii U
Yep. Just
hovering at 13 mil. If my top games are getting ported, I don't care if y'all get mad or not. My top games are getting ported because 13 mil, 61.5 and climbing.
mm-hmm.
You do the math. I'm like, and nobody's saying you have to get the port. You don't. Because especially if you already got it and your Wii U still works. If your Wii U still
Yep.
works, then play it on your Wii U. That's what it was meant for anyway. But if people who have the Switch that didn't buy a Wii U, let them get it. Let them be happy. Leave them alone.
Yeah. I mean, lots of times they getting it on the Switch is not the better version, so
Mm-mm.
why worry about
Yeah, why worry about it? I mean, it's not like, I mean, it's not hurting anybody. If anything, it's helping Nintendo get their profits up or staying
it?
up because once again, 12, 13 mil against 61.5. I mean, it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
It's just
I
not
mean,
rocket science at this point.
I do get the argument when we know about stuff that's coming or
Mm-hmm.
was coming, like when we Pikmin 3 trailer threw everything off because we had heard Pikmin 4 was near completion before the Wii U got phased out. So
Yeah.
I can understand people's irritation with that in particular. It's like, hold on, you just dropped Pikmin. Why are we not getting information on 4? I do understand that.
Yeah.
But Nintendo figures they're going to make more money by putting out more parts of the series. They're going to do it.
Yeah. It's a business decision. It's just a business decision at this point. I don't know what else to tell you people. I mean, I understand it from a business standpoint. You drop three because you know what? More people will probably wind up getting it. And who knows? Knowing Nintendo, they'll probably put a trailer out December. Pikmin 4 releases next spring. Knowing them.
Probably.
I mean, look at Origami King. We didn't know about that till when? April?
Didn't know anything about it.
And it came out in July. I mean, come on, man. So like they're known for doing that mess. That's why I hate when they put trailers out like Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3. I hate when they do that because all people ever talk about is we want this. Why they ain't saying nothing about this? Is the game canceled? Nobody said the game was canceled. Nobody said the game was canceled. So
legitimately, the last thing that we heard about Metroid Prime 4 was that it was being reworked
yeah,
from the ground up, which means it's going to take some time.
Yeah. And
Bayonetta 3 comment came out multiple times and said the game is still in production. It's going well. They might be working on other projects at the same time. Platinum is not a huge team.
Yeah. I mean, I think another thing too is they dropped Astral Chain out of nowhere last year, but I think something in Astral Chain is going to be in Bayonetta 3, and that was his testing ground.
Probably.
That's just me.
That's probably why it was being tested. Or they could be doing like I have been wanting them to do that side game for Jean.
Yeah.
I think it would be a good game for them to do, but that is for Platinum's got going.
Yeah. So I mean, let them work. They're gonna be all right. Everything gonna be all right. So moving right along, and this is gonna be fast. Yoshinori Ono leaves Capcom after 30 years.
That's all I got. I loved your work,
Yeah,
but it's been on decline and the steady decline. Goodbye. Let someone else take the reins. Maybe somebody will revive something else.
Like Power Stone
that hasn't been done. Darkstalkers, Dino Crisis, which would make a heck of a lot of sense in the current Resident Evil engine, as I've said multiple times.
Yep. I mean, when you see Capcom's like library, you're like, wow, dude, y'all got so much to work from.
Like you got so many beat 'em ups. You got Knights of the Round, Dungeons and Dragons, Captain Commando, Final Fight. What was it? Cadillacs and dinosaurs that they worked on.
Did we lose you? We may have lost some people. Let's see what happens. Give us 1 second for technical difficulties. Okay, people. So, sorry for the little technical snafu. Sorry for that. But
I'm gonna blame Microsoft on this.
Yeah, Microsoft has been nice to us, but I hope they ain't going the way of Google. But that being said, back on the Capcom the Capcom list, like I'm hoping Capcom realizes they have more than just 3 IPs. That is Street Fighter, Monster Hunter, and Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. Yeah, they got to do more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they just have to at this point. So I'm hopefully we'll see something from one of the. Hopefully they have some younger people there, and we can see what they can do with something. What does this mean for Street Fighter? I don't know. Maybe they go in a whole different direction. I don't know. I mean, 5 wasn't bad, despite the initial stuff around it. It wasn't bad.
I'd say the gameplay of 5 wasn't bad, but the way it started out was horrible.
Yeah. The press around that and everything else that happened.
This is so much stuff.
Yeah, and the reason why it happened. Yeah, hopefully that's a learning experience and they will never do that again. So hope they just be like, look, man,
I hope so.
Yeah, like we cannot release this until it's done. We just can't do this. But we want to get ready for what's that damn thing they have?
Was the I know it's not the FGC, it's Capcom's thing.
Yeah, they wanted it for that tourney, and they're like, next time, yeah, Jay ain't gonna be there. So, and that's what they should have did the first time, but that's neither here nor there. So, so I don't know if you guys know this, but there was a game called GoldenEye 25. It wasn't a official game. It was basically some fans put it together and were taking care of it, but it got shut down after a cease and desist. And my question to you, Andre, is why do people keep doing this? They know they don't own the IP. Why do they do this? Like, you can't use the fact that, oh, I'm a fan, so that gives me the right to do this. No, it doesn't. So can you enlighten me, please?
I mean, I get where people's agitation comes from. The promising, it looks great, and it hits all the nostalgia points. Then it just gets shot down because the company owns it, doesn't want people unofficially for it. As much as you might dislike it, that's how it works. Like if they own some their property and tell people they don't want to do anything with it. That's why stuff like Chrono Trigger, Blood was Crimson Tears got
Yeah.
freaking wiped out. And I think that was because somebody mislabeled it and said it was the hack of Chrono Trigger, the hack that Square Enix had shut down. Then there was that 3D Chrono Trigger game that was shut down. They don't own the rights to it. They legitimately can't make it. The only way it's allowed, be allowed. If they don't allow it, that's their option.
Yeah.
Don't gotta like it. It's just how it works.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is if you made something and somebody that claims to be a fan of yours takes it and you're going to protect your intellectual property. Why is it when a company does the same thing, you get mad and say, "Oh, we're fans. We should be." No, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that.
It doesn't always work that way. There are some fan projects that come like that.
Yeah.
Back when Half Life originally released and was built off of Half. It wasn't Counter Strike.
I, well, it might have been Counter Strike.
It was probably Counter Strike, but it was built off of the same. And Valve didn't have a problem with it. They even incorporated it and started selling. Not everybody, not every company is good. Not every some companies make games specifically for this thing, and that's what it's used for. That's why there are game engines available. Like if you want to go make your own stuff, like if you got like where I see it, if a company doesn't want their IP, you work it in different. That's what the that's what the team that had Freedom Planet did, even though they didn't get a season. They reworked a standalone thing. Like I don't think you should hurry to say, hey, take the time and take the experience built and help it.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, people are gonna have to understand that. At some point, I just find it because like it's so many examples of this happening. I'm like, I understand people are fans and they want to they feel like they can make an addendum or a next chapter or something, but dude, I don't know what to tell you. You don't own the IP. Like it's good when they find it. One or two things gonna happen. You either gonna get a cease and desist, or you might get hired. And 85% of the time, you're not gonna get hired. You're gonna get hit with that cease and desist. I don't care if they have no plans of making another game. You're gonna get hit with a cease and desist, which is fair because it's not your IP. You are a fan of it. It's not your IP. If somebody did it to you, you would be lawyered up.
Yeah.
And that's you would be lawyered up if you made something and somebody started either making money off of it or using it without your permission, you would get lawyered up, and because you don't want anybody messing with your intellectual property, your dream, your baby. So why are you? That's the only thing I want people to understand. I'm not trying to bash people for being fans and creating. I ain't bashing you for that. I'm just saying understand where companies are coming from. They have to protect their IPs. I remember what is it, the Metroid one, and people were getting mad, and the guy that created it was like, yeah, dude was like, look, y'all don't get mad. Nintendo has every right to tell me to stop. They do because it's their IP. Dude tried to explain it to him. People got mad at him explaining to them why they should not be mad.
But even still, boy, you can't tell me Nintendo didn't know about the multiple iterations, and they let him basically get it out there. Once something's on the internet, it's out.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no
out there.
way
Yeah,
to get rid of it. Like,
yeah,
so everybody's sitting there angry that they put out the C and D after it was completed.
yeah.
It wasn't before it was finished. After it was finished and already released, and other people are going to upload it and put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just so that they could have something saying, "Hey, we put a stop to this."
Which,
That's all that was for.
yeah, and it tells other people, hey, take your chances. That's what it tells other people, to take your chances. But I mean, hey, look, I I just learned from other people's experiences. So hey, it is what it is. So I guess we're gonna have to talk about this because it did happen. And Halo Infinite got pushed back to 2021. Microsoft still states though that the Series X will release in November. A lot of people are saying the fans outcry and backlash got this pushed back. I don't think that's the case. I honestly don't. What I think happened was they didn't have that multiplayer ready.
Oh,
I think the multiplayer
see,
wasn't working, and that's why it got pushed back. Yeah, the problem with fans is they take credit for stuff that they didn't do because they don't know if they they did it or not. They 343 never came out and said due to fan outcry. They never said that.
they just
And
said
on
it was pushed back.
yeah, now the other thing too is they did say that they changed the art style to go back to make it look more like the first one. So, and once again, looking at the trailer that they put out, that wasn't people are acting like that was the launch trailer and the game coming out next month. No, no. That was clearly either that probably was an alpha from alpha footage. Probably spliced together from alpha footage. That was not. People were acting though like it's a launch trailer and that Halo was coming out next month and this is what the game gonna look like. No, it's not. No, it's not. Personally, like I said, I don't think the fans had a say in that. I think that because the last time when they did Guardians, the first thing they did when they showed that trailer was go in to talk about War Zones, the multiplayer. They didn't do that this time. What they said was we're gonna talk about multiplayer at a different date. I'm like, okay, sum up with that. That doesn't make any sense. That just does not because Halo's bread and butter is multiplayer. A lot of people don't. I
It
like the
is.
campaign, but a lot of people don't like the story and lore of Halo. They get the game and jump straight into multiplayer. So them not showing multiplayer at that presentation was a red flag to me. So I honestly think that's what got it pushed back. I don't think it had nothing to do with fans mad at a trailer that clearly isn't from footage that's going to be of the final product. Even though I don't think it was that bad to begin with either, because all I was seeing was y'all gave me a grapple and I'm going to be using it a lot. I am going to be using it a hell of a lot. I'm probably not even gonna have a gun on me. I'm using the grapple. But yeah, so your thoughts on that, man? On the whole
Uh,
pushback?
honestly, it honestly to me is I think people are overreacting again. Like, just look, the game got delayed. It's being worked on. There was more that they needed to do with it. One way or the other, they needed to do more work with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it go. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't. Yeah, and hey, a delayed game can be good. A rush game that releases early will never be good. As Street Fighter Five. Nah. But yeah, if you delay the game, look, if you delay the game to work on it because you know you got issues, I'm glad that they're doing it. Personally, I'm glad that they're doing it. My only fear is uh, Microsoft, releasing without at least one of their mascot, one of their two mascots. Um, it's it's gonna be kind of a thing, but once again, all their games are gonna be playable across their whole family of systems anyway, so it don't really matter in that respect. Like you don't have to get a Series X, but whatever, it is what it is at this point. So, I for people that are playing the Avengers beta this weekend again, um, I wanted to ask a question. I didn't get to ask it last week of the fandom. Uh, After playing that game, I really, really want a Captain America game, like the Batman games. But I want a Captain America game, like a straight up action Captain America game, because I was thinking about it. I'm like, after the whole Batman Arkham series, I'm like, why didn't Marvel do a Captain America like this? Make it like a action spy game, like like Winter Soldier was or whatever, but just make it in video game form. Like, dude, that actually worked.
Really thinking about it, like, Captain America doesn't really have too many games to himself
He
at
don't.
all.
Mm-mm. He's always been. He's either been in the Avengers or he's been like what was the one that he did in the '90s that beat him up? Was it with
Captain
the
America and the Avengers.
no? When there was this one when he was with the Punisher? I know he was in Maximum Carnage. I know he was in that one.
No, that was Punisher and Fury. Yeah,
Punisher and
he was
Fury.
a
Okay.
backup in Maximum. Yeah,
Yeah.
Captain America was a backup in Maximum Carnage, but he
Yeah.
wasn't there.
Yeah. So most of this stuff is he's either in a fighting game or that's it. Fighting game or Avengers. But he actually should. He could actually. You could actually do an action game with him in it, and it could work. That's what like that first
Yeah.
20 minutes of the beta, like dude, that would actually work if now you only get to play with Cap for about 5 minutes, but his part was like, okay, dude, I want more of this. I want more of this. The hell with Iron
Well,
Man. I want more of this. Team Cap all the way, goddamn it. But hashtag Team Cap. Yeah, I want more of this though.
I I think the biggest problem people have, which by now shouldn't be the biggest problem, is trying to figure out how to simulate his shield throwing because he throws his shield to things that so it'll ricochet and bounce back like he plans it out. I think
Point.
that's the biggest problem that people are having figuring that out with him because he can throw his shield, bounce off 4 or 5 different objects, and then find himself in the spot to pick it back up before it hits the ground. Like and operating that, it's like, how do you plan for that?
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. Because at
That,
the
that that's his biggest obstacle.
yeah, because even when you're in the beta and you're playing as him, he's in like a close quarter situation where you got like 2 3 walls. So when you do throw it, it hits off the wall, hits the dude in the back of the head. You grab it and then do your other move with it. So I mean, yeah, you got a point. I think the best thing they ever did was how they did it in the movies where it would stick to something and he'd go get it. Like it didn't like in the movies, it never bounced off of everything. It like some of that stuff it stuck to he had to go grab it. He had to go run grab it and pull
Well,
it
that's
out.
how hard he threw it.
Yeah.
That's
So
how hard he threw it, though.
yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like that's probably the way they're gonna have to do it. Like if you like they probably have to make some kind of way where they're like, okay, it'll bounce off of these type of surfaces, but if you throw it on this type of surface, it'll just stay there or it'll hit the ground or something like that. You have to go run and get it, retrieve it or something like that. I mean, that's just thinking off the top of my head. But I'm like, dude, if I'm Marvel, yeah, I'm once Square Enix get done with Avengers, I'm trying to make a Captain America game and just do it in
I
that nature.
I have I have a a way in mind it could be done. I mean, if they just want him to, like, say during combat, he just throws and it hits whoever is closest to him and it comes. But if you like, they want to do something where you have to use where he's aiming it, they could always a trail go from where he is to whatever object is going to bounce off of and show where it's going to ricochet. It's
Yeah.
something that they could do. Just make a little faint, like a little phantom line of shields where to bounce off one wall, hit the other, and bounce in the direction you, the player can plan to move yourself over there to catch it.
Good point. Yeah, that could
Problem
work.
solved.
Yeah, that could work. That could work. So, if you are playing the beta this weekend, I
And
think,
it's not.
yeah, you can
Uh,
continue. Yeah, you can go and go. My bad. I didn't mean to cut y'all.
uh, I was gonna say it's not like it had that concept hasn't been used in games before. It's been done.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, that is true. Okay. Yeah. So, people, if you are playing the beta this weekend, I think this weekend was the Xbox crowd. I did jump on the PS4 to see if I could get back into it. I was able to get back into it, but once again, I had a problem with matchmaking. I'm getting kind of tired of that. So, that being said, though, let me know what you guys think if you were on the Xbox and you jumped into the beta this weekend. I'm still not gonna get it, but I have no plans on getting it, I should say. But hey, let me know what you guys think about it. So far, yeah, just leave a comment in the comment thing down there, and let us know what you think about it. So, Rare turned 35. So, man, get your favorite Rare game and your least favorite Rare game. Go.
Uh, favorite. That's a toss up between Jet Force Gemini and Battletoads and Battle Maniacs. Those are my
Okay.
two favorites.
Okay.
Least favorite. I guess the new Battletoads is I've never played
Okay.
it.
Okay. Mine is very simple. It's my favorite, Perfect Dark. My least favorite, Perfect Dark Zero.
You know what? I completely forgot about Perfect Dark Zero. That's my least favorite. There we
Yeah.
go. For
Favorite,
some
Perfect Dark.
reason,
Least favorite, Perfect Dark Zero.
my mind tried to erase that game. So
I can't erase it because every time I log into my Xbox and I go to Rare Replay, I see it. So if I have to remember, you have to remember. Sorry, ass game, but yeah, Rareware they turn 30, they turn 35. They have a very good library of games, which makes me think like Microsoft really dog, really guys, really really Microsoft, y'all just y'all ain't gonna use what you got. Okay, okay. Boy, so yeah, I
no,
mean,
they're not.
such a library, man. And I'm of the mind frame of our good buddy Shadow Fox Infinite. If you're not gonna use it, sell the titles back to doggone Nintendo. Sell Perfect Dark back, sell Jet Force Gemini back, hell, sell Conquer back. You're not using them. So sell, you just started. I would have said sell Battletoads, but y'all start using them now. I would say sell Killer Instinct, but y'all decided to use them. I don't know if y'all gonna use them ever again, but if you're not gonna use them, sell them back. If you're not gonna use them, because I'm pretty sure Nintendo probably would have done at least one more Jet Force Gemini and at least a real Perfect Dark. I don't call Perfect Dark Zero real. A real Perfect Dark. Conquer, I don't know. But then again, Nintendo does some weird stuff from time to time, and they probably would have made Conquer like their dark comedy series or whatever. If Paper Mario is their straight up comedy, even though they got some stuff in there that some jokes that fly over kids' heads but don't fly over parents, even though that happens, I think Conquer would have been there, for the adults game. Because look, Conquer's Bad Fur Day. I mean, people love to talk about Nintendo not being kiddie and stuff, but they don't censor stuff as much as Sony does. Facts.
I think it's they think they don't censor games that really don't need it. If the game going to do well or better without the censoring, they won't censor.
Yeah.
With Conquer, it was such a strange contrast. It worked, so they were
Yeah.
like, "Go ahead, we love this. Go ahead, it's funny. Everybody, go ahead, and do it."
I mean, it's furry. It's Looney Tunes characters that are ridiculous for the most part. So yeah, it is what it is on the in that regard. So okay, we're getting to the end of the podcast. So what I want to do is talk about this Fortnite, Epic, Apple, and Google. So if you haven't heard, Apple and Google have taken Fortnite off of their respective stores because Epic decided to not pay their fee. So Epic is saying that they shouldn't have to pay it. Uh, Google and Apple like you must have lost your mind and you must not know about me. So now they have a issue. My thing is I'm getting my popcorn ready because this sounds like it's gonna be hilariously funny before it's all said and done to me. Because I'm like, okay, Epic, like you signed an agreement, dude. Y'all didn't read the contract.
If they didn't, that's on them.
Yeah, that's on you, man. So I hate to have to be the one to break this to you, but Apple and Google are in the right, man. You got fees to pay, you got to pay it. If you don't pay it, they got every right to take your stuff off their store.
Yep. So that
I
means
mean,
anybody that did not download that game cannot play it.
yeah. So I mean, I look. You got to pay the fee. I know y'all making a lot of money. You didn't expect Fortnite to blow up like it did, but it blew up, and they want their money. Simple. So I just think at this point it's funny because they Epic done made like a trade. They done made like a little video. They done like free Fortnite hashtags. I'm like, wow, buddy, really? But then when you read about it, you're like, yeah, but Epic, y'all in the wrong. I'm pretty sure that was in the contract that y'all signed when y'all did all this. So I don't know exactly what the end game for this is at this
The end
jump.
game is the end game is, hey, we can have our game on your store and not pay you anything for it. That's the end game.
Yeah, I guess that would be the end game. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me
But,
though. So
but how many companies have their games on their servers that are selling that don't have to pay a fee to Epic?
that's true because Epic does have their own thing too. So that is very true. I mean,
So, like that's my point. If Epic is on their online store, then they can't ask Apple or Google to not charge them to do the same thing.
yeah,
So, they got themselves a little bit of a conundrum.
yep. I think it's hilarious at this point though because I can't wait for the lawyers to get involved because this has Epic popcorn battle written all over it. So I think they should just settle it the way every executive from every company should handle this situation. Smash Brothers, Final Destination, 3 stop, best 3 out of 5. CEO of Epic, if you win, you ain't got to pay. Hey, 3 out of 5, Final Destination, items on the first round, no items second round. Alternate the items. And the last match, if it goes to the fifth one, it's a coin battle. I just solved y'all problem.
See, this is making me think that we should have a show called Celebrity Smash Battle, just because it
We're
would
doing
be
it.
funny.
We're doing it. We're doing it. All right, be on the lookout for our new segment in about a month and a half. Just be on the lookout for it. Hey, look, y'all know how we do stuff on the Wingin podcast. So just be on the lookout for our new segment that will be coming in about a month and a half. So we got to plan it out and everything. So yeah, yeah. Now it's time to make a lot of me's. Just saying, got a lot of me's to make. So we will have to do that. We will have to do that. And I have a
Well,
perfect.
legitimately. And like legitimately have them play each other on a show, like in that type of format, just to see how fun. Do a simulation with the characters to see who wins, and then have the actual people play to see if the simulation matches up.
That would actually be funny. That would actually be dope. That would actually be dope. We got to see what we can do. What we can do to help that happen. We got to see what we can do about that.
It would be cool.
I mean, we could put like 2 level 9
Throw it out
Mii's
there.
against each other. We could put like 2 or 3 level 9 Mii's against each other and just have them go at it. We can do that, of course. So, I mean, hey, it could work. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, be on the lookout for that new segment coming in about a month and a half. Just be on the lookout. I'm making a note of it. Also, the Wingin podcast is up on Spotify, which I'm still waiting for Google Podcast to work, but for some reason the link still ain't there on Google Podcasts. If you want the audio version, you can click on the link to Anchor. If you go to our Anchor page, you'll see what all you can get to hear the audio version of our podcast. So if you don't want to watch the YouTube version, you can look at the get the audio version of it. So, Andre, anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
Just got my normal stuff coming. I messed up on putting up my Streets of Rage 5 videos, so it's up for this week. I meant to do it last week, and I forgot to upload it. That's only my fault. It'll be there. But that's other than that, it's just normal stuff is going to be popping up. I'm still trying to get everything in order, back together. So that's it.
Okay. Also, if you haven't checked out the Geek Life Gaming channel, please check that out. I had to get some stuff done this week with my laptop. I also had to update my Adobe, so I'm gonna have to learn some stuff. So y'all gonna be learning with me. So the I will have some gameplay of some stuff up. I do have a couple of Let's Talks that I got to work on. One covering my thoughts on the beta for Marvel's Avengers, as well as my Let's Talk for crossovers. I had an idea about it, and so I'm going to work on that. Also, be on the lookout for another Let's Talk with my good friend Rob of Ruler 2 Review. We're going to be talking another Metroid Let's Talk, so be on the lookout for that. This time we're going to be tackling the age-old question: should Nintendo let Hollywood do a Metroid movie? Short answer: no. But we will be talking about that coming soon, I should say. So thank you guys for watching. Check out the links in the description. Share us out on all your social media platforms if you love what we're doing. Invite your friends to listen, all the other good stuff. And we'll see you guys on the next vid. As always, Wakanda forever. Peace out.
Peace out, everybody.